Formed in 1880, Liverpool Football Club is one of the biggest in the country alongside Manchester United. 36 domestic trophies and 6 European Cups has meant that Liverpool have created a standard for themselves to achieve success every year. Despite winning the Champions League, a journey of 30 years without a league title and heartbreak led the Reds to 2015 when an eccentric German named Jurgen Klopp took over one of the worst Liverpool sides with the likes of Fabio Borini, Mario Balotelli and Dejan Lovren, just to name a few. After only finishing in the top 4 once since 2009, Klopp brought Liverpool back to the big time, picking up a Champions League, the FA Cup, a League Cup and that elusive Premier League title. He did this by building a well-oiled machine full of world-class players. He mixed a blend of young players built up like Trent Alexander-Arnold with big money signings like Alisson Becker and Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool were undoubtedly one of the best teams, if not the best teams, in the world. But could they have won more? Klopp implemented a version of Ralf Rangnick's gegenpress style, which is an intense form of pressing football. This worked wonders as Liverpool would overwhelm teams and dominate oppositions. This took a toll, however, as it was more demanding in contrast to Pep Guardiola's rotation approach to the game. Did all of this limit Liverpool's success? If Klopp implemented a different playstyle, would they have succeeded more? Has the gegenpress prevented Liverpool from being more successful? Firstly, what is the gegenpress? The gegenpress, as previously mentioned, was formulated by Ralf Rangnick, which was adapted by Jurgen Klopp in a system in which the teams would win the ball straight after losing possession. The pros of this playstyle is that it's visually appealing for audiences, which especially at Anfield would get the crowd behind the team. So how do you feel about the way Liverpool play under Jurgen Klopp?
Well, I feel that over the last 7-8 years that he's been at the club, you've really seen him integrate that gegenpress into the team, and some seasons it really has worked. But some seasons you've seen a bit like this season, you could say that the players look tired and unfit to points of the season. It's starting to come back now, but I feel like the gegenpress is brilliant and it does work really well with Liverpool, but there are points that the players just look exhausted, and the balance needs to be there at the end of the day.
The cons are that it can be countered easily with a long ball play style which lower teams can use against Liverpool to cause upsets like Brighton in the FA Cup this season, where they crashed out in the 4th round. The main con though is it's extremely mentally and physically demanding. Beginning with the physical aspect, what do the stats say? Well, Liverpool ran a whopping 20 kilometres less in their first 6 league games this season than their opponents. This could have been a hangover from their quadruple run from last season, as Liverpool played every game they possibly could have, which would have taken a massive toll on the players' bodies. This stat shows Liverpool players are making less runs and less pressures, which suggests a physical burnout. This has a pattern. Liverpool will go all guns blazing for everything one season, and then there'll be a drop the next. This has happened many times, too many times for it to be a coincidence. For example, the year after they won the Premier League, they had a slew of injuries and finished 3rd. Then, they came back and went for the quadruple, and now, this season, they're likely to miss out on the Champions League. On that injury front, like I just mentioned, Liverpool after winning the Premier League were riddled with injuries the season after in 2021, so much so that to sign 2 last-ditch defenders in Oscar Kabak and Ben Davies just to cover. This season they've had the same problem with Jota, Luis Diaz and Thiago Alcantara, their key players, also being out injured. On the other hand, a reason why this hasn't been a problem is of course their success as a whole trophy-wise, but also the free scoring players like Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane thriving in this system. Leading on from this, Sadio Mane was a key component to Liverpool's pressing playing style, being their most effective presser, leading to a 63% win rate with him in the team and a 47% win rate without him. £80 million replacement Darwin Núñez is also a great presser. However, he hasn't put all the pieces together yet, which has hindered Liverpool as their whole system starts and ends with the striker. Now onto the mental side. To create this system, it all begins on the training ground in intense and strenuous exercises and training sessions. This, over years and years, can prove mentally taxing on the players and lead to a decrease in motivation for them and taking the fun out of the game for the players. This can be seen in the fall off in performances like Trent Alexander-Arnold and Fabinho, who are not pressing style players and had to do it for the system to work. What effect does excessive exercise have on a person? I spoke to a Navy officer to see what he thought about this.
The biggest mental effect it has on you when you're doing too much exercise and not allowing your body to recover is just your all-round mental state. You get depressed, you get sad, you get down, you find it difficult to pick yourself up and be joyful, especially in the evening. Once you've done all this exercise throughout the day, it starts to really, really wear on you in the evening. You're tired, your body's sore, you can't really find much happiness in things if your body is constantly knackered and depleted of energy. And because your body is so tired throughout the day from all of this exercise, you fall asleep during parts of the day that you shouldn't really be falling asleep. You nod off, which then affects your sleep schedule, because when you go to bed where you should be getting quality sleep, you can't, because you've slept a little bit earlier there in the day, had a little nap before bed kind of thing. So you don't sleep properly in the evening time or throughout the night when you should be. This then means that the following morning when you wake up, your body's tired, you're tired, you don't want to get out of bed, you want to have a little bit of a lie-in. But yeah, all in all, overtraining and too much exercise doesn't do you any good. You need to allow your body the correct time to recover, and you'll feel a lot better for it.
Ultimately, Liverpool have been very successful due to their playstyle. Winning trophies, there is no denying that factor. However, where Liverpool's playstyle has led to a lack of consistency, their player style has also led to injuries and a lack of motivation, along with taking a season or two at least to learn and fully embrace the system. Klopp has a team with a few additions that could consistently compete with Manchester City. Only time will tell if this is the end of the Klopp era or the continuation of a dynasty.